Welcome back to the Bottom Third podcast. This is episode 1 of season 3, where we are doing it in person.
In a studio.
Yeah, I'm excited. Are you excited?
And what a studio. There you go. Our first guest. Dan Wilkinson.
Yeah. Great. Thank you for having me, guys. It's fantastic to be here in this very alley.
Sanger.
Compound.
Yeah, it's good.
You decide. We've got loads of fucking merch.
Yeah. And if you've got a Velcro patch,
Stick it on.
oh, and then that's not supposed to sound like that. Just put.
Do you imagine a sand?
Yeah.
Sand
It's
sound
full of
effect?
sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So straight into the icebreaker. Obviously, you're in the hot seat. Tell us a bit about yourself.
So, Dan Wilkinson, I was an Irish Guards officer, obviously a recruit, you could tell that. And I joined the army age 19 in 1991. And I left age 37 as a major in 2008.
1991, was you even born?
No.
No.
Minus,
I was 4.
So,
-6.
Does that make you feel
you
old?
don't need to remind me, but I'm properly ancient. I know that. I've got kids a bit younger than you, Danny, but they tell me all the time that I'm ancient. So, I'm well aware of that. And of course, this bonnet is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about that yet because it gets talked about far too much, my hair.
It's amazing that
Why does it get talked about so much?
there's still a hairline. It's impressive. I have to wear this
yeah.
because I'm not getting lifted mine.
People
know.
Afraid, yeah.
If you know, you know.
He's a very happy lifter.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm losing my hair.
Yeah.
It's the constant stress doing this, but with the women, they living my life.
The women in your life.
Yeah. For those that don't know, I've got a missus and 2 daughters, both of teenage years.
Yeah. So I was a MIC officer, and since I left the army in 2008, I've settled in Yorkshire. I live in Yorkshire, about 15 minutes down the road from Catterick, and although I was a Rupert, my transition, my resettlement period has been really tough, and has lasted a long time. But in the last 5 years, it took me till I was about 47 or 48 to realise what it was I wanted to be when I grew up.
When you grow up, yeah. We all say that, don't we?
Yeah. Well, it took me, I was almost 50. And I now recruit veterans. I try and find jobs for veterans. That's what I do. And within the We Serve community, I'm the head of employment. So there's a lot to talk about around that as well. But I'm super excited to be part of this team, to be on this podcast, and to meet you two. I was going to call you legends, but lizards, legends. Which way?
Yeah, we'll go with lizards.
Yeah, so to sort of
lizards,
tie it off for the audience a little bit here is obviously we're all now employed by We Serve, and essentially, indirectly, the Bottom Third podcast is now semi-sponsored by We Serve because they pay our wages. It gives us time to be more creative, and it gives us room to do things like this, where we can get We Serve employees who are veterans themselves to talk a bit about the platform and help other veterans in the process. So it's sort of an indirect sponsorship.
Yeah, stop that. It's your fucking dog out.
Sort the dog out.
The
The soundproof shed is very soundproof. Yeah, I think we need to breeze over the fact
We haven't mentioned Ricky's missing.
you can see how that worked at the exact same time. As soon as we walked through the door, as I said it.
It's scary how much of a fucking same brainwave we're on.
Yeah. So obviously for season 3 as well, while we're sort of like going back and forth, this is very unprofessional, exactly how the Bottom Third should be. Ricky has died.
Yeah, that's a joke, by the way. He's not actually dead. We just tell the audience that every time he's like, he's dead.
It's like Kenny off South Park. He just dies all the time.
Yeah.
So,
tragic gardening accident or something like that.
Oh no, he got into a car crash, then got out of the car and then got run over by another car.
yeah, that's this time round.
Genned it as well.
Genned
Genned it.
During that time, he managed to hold up the motorway where he stopped a nuke convoy. So they all had to debus and send traffic back up the wrong way up the motorway because they thought they were getting ambushed, according to someone that was observing.
Observing? Who was observing the nuke?
There was someone that was trying to go that way, and then later found out that it was Ricky that crashed, and he was one of the people that got turned around.
Oh, fucking hell, that's hilarious, isn't it?
I need to meet this man. He sounds like him.
He is an absolute
grenade.
fucking grenade.
Yeah.
But he's our grenade.
So what we'll say here is if you want to be the third host and be in the hot seat number 3, you can apply. The way we'll do the audition is by you being a guest. If you make us laugh, you're in. If you don't, biff. That's how we recruited Alex, actually. I actually loved him on the podcast that much that I thought we need a third host. So
Thank you.
Just got the fucking
A
aurora.
sparkling repartee.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
yeah, so
Anyway.
back to the shit bits. I want to go straight into the story. In fact, when did you lose your virginity? You just said
Yeah, I was
that.
going to say, yeah.
Now, I'm tempted to
Lie.
plead the fifth as a guards officer. I could never disclose such an event.
Shut the fuck up, just tell us.
20.
20.
answer.
Yeah, fair play.
Is that with
That was 2-0, by the way.
No,
with the current bird or is it?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh, flip it. I've been married 25 years. So,
It's the same bird.
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
had to clarify
No,
that.
that's fine.
It's not in aggregate.
The one and only. The one and only. Yeah, no. I've got 3 kids, and married 25 years this year. So you get less for murder, right?
Well,
Yes.
just to put that in perspective, I'm 27.
Yeah. So I got married when you were 2. You'd have been a great little page boy.
Page boy, what's that even?
It's the little flower boy,
Little
isn't it?
boy, flower boy, flower.
Oh, what's the flower boy?
It's the boy equivalent of a flower girl.
Oh, there we
At
go.
weddings, sometimes people
Yeah.
have these
That
little.
was a page.
So when I got married, funnily enough, I was serving, and I had 2 nephews, and they had tunics made for them for the wedding.
No.
Promise you,
As in red.
red
scarlet,
scarlet,
red-
Irish Guards tunic.
Oh, that's cool, to be fair.
It was cool. They looked very cool, and then we made them t-shirts underneath because it was in the summer, and they took the tunics off because you and I both know
Yeah,
that
yeah, they're fucking redders.
thick, hot, sweaty,
Well,
horrible.
speaking of tunics, tell them a bit about the time you had your football top over the top.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Tell
so
about
no, need more context. So we've actually met kind of in person before, haven't we?
Yes.
So
Alex.
those that know I was a grenadier, I did the Troop in the Colour in 2005, and that's where you come in. So you carry on.
So I had the great privilege of commanding the escort to the colour in 2005. And
Imagine
I
the
was
escort to the colour. Hang on. What?
So yeah, to explain that to you and the viewers / listeners, commanding the escort is basically the bod, the officer bod, carrying the ensign of the Irish Guards or whoever's trooping their colour of that year. So for your year, it was Irish Guards. That's why you was trooping your holding your ensign.
So to avoid the confusion, there was no escort
Oh yeah, not that type of escort.
given to the colours.
not necessarily. So every year, Queen's
Not
birthday
necessarily.
parade happens on the
So
second Saturday in June or something like that.
yeah.
You might need to cut that out because if it's wrong.
Yeah, you go like that. No.
And
Every 30th of February.
yeah, yeah, the 11th of July.
yeah.
The 52nd of January.
Yeah, come on, fucking count with it.
So there are all the foot guards, all the House of Cavalry, all the King's Troop, all on this parade, and the Sovereign. In this case, Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth II, who we still kind of miss her. Actually, I think.
Oh yeah, I do,
definitely.
yeah.
So, yeah.
You know, I think that's amazing that we're 30 years apart nearly, and we all miss her. I think she was pretty special. Anyway, that's her side. On her unofficial birthday, every year there was this troop in the colour. I was commanding. There were 6 guards in it. I was commanding the escort, which is number 1 guard, and there were lots of rehearsals, and that's where Alex and I actually met.
Yeah.
So this was 2005, and it would have been May because the
Yeah. Oh
rehearsals
yeah.
came out.
Yeah. You start well early doing the practices, don't you?
Yeah.
Although because you have 3 major parades: the Colonel's review, the Major General's review, and then the actual event.
Yeah.
3 consecutive weekends.
That's right. Yeah.
But the pre-workout for that,
The pre-workout.
yeah, and the preparation for that starts. Fucking hell,
April.
I'd probably say
March, maybe, yeah.
maybe even March.
When's the actual event?
June.
June.
Yeah. So you've got like a couple of months of practices, and it's not solid practice, is it? It's fine as and when everyone's available, because obviously, as Queen's Guard, you still got guard mounts and stuff to fulfill, and other stuff like I think there's a state visit in amongst all that, if I remember rightly. So you've got stuff like that to do, and it's 3 o'clock starts where you're doing fucking marching down the mall where the pitch bar is wild and it's crazy. Yeah.
Sunday.
So I'm, other than the commanding officer who's commanding the parade and he's on a horse, I am the senior officer on that parade. Now this was May 2005, Chelsea Barracks. We got in the region of 300 or 400 soldiers probably there, and I may or may not have turned up for one of these rehearsals about 8 in the morning. Slightly the worse for wear. Now I'm a massive football fan, and that was the day of one of the most amazing games of football in history, where Liverpool, my beloved team, because I'm obviously, as you can tell by my accent, I'm part Scouser.
Oh, yeah? Didn't pick that up.
No, mate, calm down.
No, definitely not.
Anyway, but so I've always supported Liverpool, and that night they had what was known as the Miracle of Istanbul, where they won the European Cup. They beat Milan on penalties, having been 3-0 down at half time, and everyone thought they were done. Anyway, I may or may not have gone out and got a bit shedded.
Yeah.
Shit face. You can say shit face.
Shit-faced is fine. Yeah,
That's absolutely fucking obliterated. There you go, saved it.
But obviously, being a good officer, I was on parade the next morning when I was required, and we had our drill order, and which was bearskin and sword and stuff like that. And we were all carrying
Bully pulleys
and a Green Army jumper.
Yeah.
And over this Green Army jumper, because I don't know why, I was still pissed, I think. But basically, I pulled on my Liverpool shirt and I went out on parade, and everyone's thinking, well,
yeah.
what were you thinking?
I was stood in the fucking ranks, and I was like, what the fuck is this dickhead doing? What the fucking hell's going on here? Are we being fucking pranked here or something? Like,
Anyway, I was definitely still pissed, and this dickhead was being a dickhead. But we couldn't start the parade. The regimental sergeant major made the officers come on and then go off again. No, not good enough. Get back. Come on again. And it was all because of me, because I was wearing this Liverpool bloody shirt over my drill order. And then eventually he said, "Right, sir, you need to get rid of that, and we can't start until you got rid of it." But anyway, that's how we met in a previous life.
Yeah,
I've no regrets. It was one of the great. Outside of my family, it was one of the great days of my life. The Miracle of Istanbul, Liverpool Football Club.
There you go.
Awesome.
I've
genned it.
Officers get fucking wavy as well.
Yeah.
But you and I have not met.
No, never once. This is the first time I've ever seen it. We've not recorded like 50 million different things today. No, yeah, we've never met before. I think in 2005, I first learnt to write my first English words in primary school. Poo, like, hello, my name is D-A-M-Y.
How old was you in 2005? 2005.
8? Yeah, 8 years old.
Fucking sprog, mate.
Yeah. So I was thinking, like, in 2004, while you two were in battalion, I wasn't even in the country.
Where were you?
So I was still in Moldova as a little nipper, 7 years old.
Oh, yeah.
So at this point, my mum was getting married to an Englishman, and then that's when I flew over.
Bye.
So,
Moldova.
I mean, yeah. Not to make matters worse, but I'm actually going to Dubai on the 7th, and yeah.
Oh no! By the time this comes out, that'd have happened, though.
I know, yeah, but the fact of the matter is, I still went there, and that's the only place aside from Turkey that Russian citizens can still fly to. And I'm going there to meet my Russian family.
Like I said, spy.
Defo. Look at the way he wears his hat.
That's why he's so fucking angry all the time.
Just looks spy-like.
Looks
spy-like. What's a spy-like?
Surely
that's spy-like, isn't it?
That's also an improvement.
No, that's sleeping on stag.
Yeah. Are you sleeping? No. Why the fuck was your eyes closed then? Oh, I was looking at the walls through my eyelids. What the fuck?
Yeah, so out of all this kit here, what kit did you actually use while you was in?
Who, me?
Well, because you was in before.
Yeah, so I left in 2008.
So at what point was Did you have
If
different kit
95,
before?
hang on, no, is DPN coming by the time you started?
What were you saying? I'm in putties and stuff like that. No, I
No,
wasn't
no.
doing putties.
Because you was lightweights and shit though, weren't you?
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
lightweights.
the green-
And then DPM we got and the thing.
Oh, it would have been the first version of DPN though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't got it's that pattern almost, but it's even before that pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fi-
You would probably not come across.
But
that,
I did
but-
start when I went to Sandhurst. I did start on 58 pattern webbing.
Yeah.
So that was 1991, and this was webbing that would come in circa 1958. So that's same sort of time. Well, there's so many iterations of kit since then. Go on.
Go on. It's your podcast. Go on. When people say circa 1958, what the fuck is circa?
Around
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Just
that-
say around. What?
roughly.
Yeah.
Got dumb shit down.
Why is that?
Sorry, yeah.
Lines
Back in the day, go on.
Circa 1800s. Oh, yeah, 1800s is circa, isn't it? I don't understand why
true.
people do it.
True, but the 58 pattern webbing was from 1958, I think.
But there you go.
Circa. Around.
So, did you
So-
use the
so the-
CBA?
Body armor, yeah, we had body armor, but not in that camouflage.
You would have had the which one was it? That one.
We've got this one here.
Yeah,
That's Desert DPM. Some nerds will probably say to you, it's not Desert DPM, it's just Desert. So okay, shut the fuck up.
yeah, bothered. What else? So we were probably SA80A. Two would have come in when I was serving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would have started on the A1 though, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did you have that issue where the magazines were falling out and all that stuff?
It wasn't that bad.
Yeah, but did you even carry a weapon as an officer?
Yeah.
On exercise, you just give it to the front, don't you? Clean that.
Yeah, signal it. Hold that.
Well, we did have orderlies in the foot guards to do our ceremonial kit mostly. Press it, iron it, polish it, whatever.
Yeah.
But we did carry our own kit. Although that again, there's a guy I know who, when he went to Northern Ireland. This is another guards officer, not your regiment or mine, but another one. So that reduces it to 3 options, 3 regiments.
I love how fucking covert he's been about that.
And he was going out on a patrol in Northern Ireland, and he gave his backpack, sort of his patrol pack,
Yeah.
patrol pack,
Yeah.
to his orderly. He said, "Can you pack that? We're out for 48 hours. Can you just put my normal stuff?" Anyway, the bloke said, "Yes, sir, of course, no worries." And he picks it up, goes off on his patrol. They hunker down to get into their sort of harbour for the night, or their hide. And
Was that fine?
that was my phone. They go into the hide for the night. Ron gets their bivvy bag out and got DOS bag and stuff like that. He opens his 2 pillows and two pillows and a blanket.
Shut up.
True story.
No else in
True
there.
story. Nothing else. That was
Oh,
it. I think he
my
might have put some
God.
weight in there. He might have put some weight to make it a bit more realistic. But two pillows,
Oh,
or it might be 2 blankets
so
and a pillow.
bad.
That's Ali. Make me fucking pack your kit, yeah, dickhead. I'll pack it for you.
Lesson learned, right?
Yeah.
But that's bad Rupert admin, that.
That is very bad.
Bad.
I
I would never have done that.
not my dip, but there's I've been told another fucking wild story from Northern Ireland. It's not my story to tell. I'm hoping to get him on actually. Ben Stevenson. I don't know if you
Ben
know him.
Stevens.
Yeah, Ben Stevens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know him?
Yeah, a different bloke to Ben Stevenson.
Oh,
Wait.
what?
Gwen's officer.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
called him Ben Stevenson,
Oh,
and I said, "You mean Ben Stevens?"
Oh, he calls Annabella.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I've shit with names. It's the brain
Well,
damage.
next You'll be Daniela.
Well, I am. On a weekend.
Only on a Friday.
Well, Saturdays.
Yeah. So, have you heard his search chicken story?
No,
Oh my fucking god! You know him well.
no, I don't know him well, but I know
Right.
who you mean.
Yeah.
I
so
love these Brecon. Your Brecon points are getting duller and duller. You're gonna have to start sharpening them.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can get this. Yeah, again, not my story to tell, but he's got a fucking cracking Northern Ireland bit about a search chicken.
Search.
A search chicken.
Right, we'll have to get them on then. Oh,
Fucking.
quick interlude. If you want to jump on the podcast, message the bottom third TikTok or the bottom third Instagram. There you go. Just a little fucking public service announcement there. But tell us a little bit about WeServe and your role within WeServe. What's
Fucking hell, gear change.
that's
Yeah,
it?
hey, suddenly you're going to get serious. But so I've been recruiting in the recruitment world for veterans. I used to run a small business called Hire a Veteran, which does what it says on the tin.
What's that?
What do you mean? It does what it says on the tin. Can't help yourself, can it? So that's fine.
Right, you can come here and that, man. It's
He
fine.
loves it. Guardsman and sort of guards company commander and somebody on the level playing field, which I love, by the way.
Well, civvies now, mate.
Serious, exactly.
What's a
There's
tin?
no rank in civies.
What?
What's a tin?
What do you mean, what's a tin?
Why are you up there?
Oh, right. I thought you was on a different fucking tangent. No.
Tin box.
Tin hat.
Well, anyway, yes.
Anyway, so I've been running this business for a few years now, and I'm very much in the world of veterans and helping them find employment. And since I started working, or when I heard about WeServed, I thought, this is amazing. This really sounds absolutely amazing. So I'll give you a bit of backstory. When I left the army in 2008, I was a 37-year-old major. I just commanded a company. I was chief of staff captain at Garrison. I commanded a company in a rifle company in a battalion, infantry battalion. And I felt,
Major, yeah.
and I felt I could do anything. Right? I left in August 2008. So the world went into recession in September 2008 when there was this big Lehman Brothers thing in the banking.
Oh, yeah.
bankers
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
upside down.
Yeah, so that's the side story. That's when I bought my house, so that's why we got it so cheap. But yeah, anyway, carry on.
Good. And I had no job, no house, but I had kids at school. So I settled in Yorkshire, near Catterick. And what we did then was, I then started looking for a job. I didn't do it well. I didn't prepare myself for leaving the army. I thought people would snap me up. I thought I was, God's gift.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, God's
God's
officer.
Call
Like,
it. I know you're brave.
Yeah,
Wavelength.
a little bit. And you didn't know what circa was, though, but that's fine.
That's fine. I know.
neither did I, to be fair. I was just riding with it, pretending I was more educated than I
Yeah. Circa, absolutely. Yeah, no way. Good luck.
Just don't do shit scarf.
Anyway, and so my career, the last 16 years, or the first 10 years of me being out, I did lots of different things because we're capable of doing lots of different stuff. We're adaptable, we're problem solvers, and all those things that most veterans are. And what happened was that I had no thread to my career at all. So I've been a program manager, I'd run my own business, I've been a sales guy, I've been in management consultancy, all sort of good officer jobs. And at the end of each one, either it came to an end or they said, thanks, you're done, or whatever it is. And I did get sacked once. We'll tell you that by a grenadier, funny enough, who's still a good friend of mine.
What, Timmy Street?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I got sacked.
Top block.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Actually, twice I've been sacked, in fairness. But again, don't worry about that. And what happened was, whenever a job came to an end, I had to reinvent myself all over again. So I'd have a period of unemployment because I wasn't a builder or an electrician or a banker or whatever else it might be, whereby you just get sacked, you go find another job in the same industry. Because I was in Yorkshire and there weren't any of these particular industries, it's not sort of the south of England or whatever.
Yeah.
It meant that I found it really difficult to go find another job. It's like starting all over again.
So what was the first job you got outside the army?
So the first prop job was amazing. I had an epic job. And I'll tell you how I got it, which was interesting. But I went to run a round-the-world yacht race.
What? How the fuck? So, what the fuck? Yeah.
Which was brilliant. And I wasn't even in the Navy, thank God. But I don't know how many Navy people watch this.
We don't care anyway, they're dickheads. I'm joking. I fucking calm down.
Navy bloke on the podcast, haven't we?
No.
We've had an ex-police magician, but we've not had anyone from the Navy.
Please
Ex-police magician, yeah.
produce my phone going mad.
Will you fuck that phone off?
He's a
The parcel's there. It won't be the mic, it'll be the cable.
okay.
Stop the vibrations.
Have the front close.
Nil time.
Yeah.
No,
So
it won't vibrate as hard.
that's fine. And I'm telling you about the job, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Round
Oh, yeah.
Round.
How did I get the job?
Yeah, how'd you get it? Yeah.
So the thing that saved me and made me able to earn a living always has been the fact that I've been quite a good networker.
Oh, there we go.
I'm good, and I'll talk to anyone.
I mean, we can already tell you're a good waffler.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's been one of my lifetime ambitions, Alex. So that's really fun.
I don't want to
Proud moment
So-
for me. And I always say, don't be shy when you're looking for a job. Don't be shy about telling people you're looking for a job. So I was telling everyone, saying I'm looking for a job, and there was a guy in the in the school car park. My daughters were at school, and his daughter was at school, and he knew me, and we used to go to kids' parties, and there was a magician, or there was a something or other entertainer, and we'd hang out and have a glass of beer out the back, and we chatted, and we liked each other. He liked me, and he turns out he was a big shot in business. And I didn't really know that, but we literally met in the school car park, and he said to the people that then employed me, who had invested in this round the world yacht race, said, "Oh, you should have Dan. He's just been running Catterick Garrison." I was chief of staff Catterick Garrison, which
What does that? What, like? I know we're going off. What does that fucking involve? Chief of staff, Catterick Garrison.
So
What are you running?
you're the administration for all the troops, the administrative headquarters for all the troops in Catterick Garrison,
Yeah,
which was 16,000 people when I was in it.
it's about today's army, but yeah.
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 That's just the fucking. Just the, oh no. I was gonna say something.
Spicy.
So you look after the catering contracts, the grounds and the all that sort of stuff. You'd be looking after. We had a garrison commander, all the admin and discipline and stuff like that. So you plug in to each regiment or each barracks and make sure everything was tickety-boo. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So effectively, you're just telling people what to look at.
So it's all the admin. But I mean, there was a few little bits that were a bit more in there. Like there was a brigade changeover.
Yeah.
There was a brigade. We were drawing down from Germany, and there was a brigade coming in from Germany and a brigade going out. So for all the families coming in, we had to make sure there was places at school, places at the doctor, places at the dentist. It's stuff like that.
Oh
So-
shit! Like super admin boss.
Serious admin. And it was a big arms plot.
Yeah, but you're not doing that personally. You've got people.
There's a team of people, and then there's garrison commander, and then there's me, and there's his chief of staff, making sure that everyone's doing what he said they should be doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm the commander's bitch, if you like.
There we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Round the world, yeah.
So
Around the world, yeah.
so then this bloke said he's been running Catterick Garrison. I'm sure he could run around the world yacht race. And literally, because he was such a big shot, I got the job.
Terrible.
And
Did you have to interview for it, or did he just give you it?
no, I got it, and then about halfway through about 9 months in, I had to interview. It was all about financial years and different all sorts of stuff. But anyway, they had to interview, and apparently my application was terrible because there was civil service. It was a public sector organisation, and they sponsored this yacht race, and then they had no one to run it for them. So that's
just to clarify for any infanteers watching, public sector is basically limited companies.
other way around.
Yeah. Dickhead.
Is it?
I don't know. He knows better than me.
So public sector is government, local government.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, yeah, it is, yeah. Should have cancel that. Change that.
I mean, my question is infanteer actually a word? Because every time I try to type in,
You're the most education.
education.
Keep that
You're
in.
the most books.
Fucking hell.
Infanteer, I think, is a word. Yeah.
The amount of times I've tried to spell it, it's just like, is it double E? Is it I-E-R?
I don't know.
Double E, I would have thought.
E-I-E-I-O?
Anyway, getting back to the public sector, all those that's owned by the government.
Yeah.
AKA owned by the public.
Yeah, correct.
Private sector is limited companies.
Yeah.
There you go. Got to write that down.
Send it.
Go.
So how did you actually manage to? Did you manage to run it? And then
Yeah, I
by the
did.
9 month point, they were like, no.
Great success. No, great success. it was amazing. So as I say, I was in North Yorkshire at the time. The race started and finished in Hull. No.
What?
Oh,
As in, just up road.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. East Yorkshire. And it started and finished in Hull. And at the beginning of the race, we had a weekend that tied in with there was lots going on to attract people. We had over 250,000 people visit Hull in a weekend.
250,000.
I don't think that's ever happened before or since. Why would you go to Hull?
Yeah,
I love Hull as a result, but I didn't before. Anyway, it was a big success. The boats then went round the world. That was 9 months. And I took some trade missions with them. So I took local businesses and took them to business in places like South Africa and China and America, Canada.
Okay.
So they could sell their wares and sell their products effectively.
Oh, that's fucking wild.
So it was great. I loved it.
With everything they've experienced as a veteran and trying to find work and working in different industries, how do you feel WeServe could best target veterans to help them find a job that they want without going through the hassle of trying every different avenue?
So I think the key to finding a job as a veteran is networking and talking to people who have done the journey before. I really think that's super important.
Peer-to-peer support.
Yeah.
Is it peer-to-peer
So when
support?
so when I left, I kind of thought, I'm a company commander, infantry regiment. When I leave, the place will fall apart without me. And of course, the army is built on that not happening. Right? If you're a platoon sergeant and you get killed, then the senior section commander steps up.
Oh, right, yeah, I get what you mean, yeah.
So basically, it doesn't matter who you are, no one's indispensable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So if somebody
everybody's
gets killed or
replaceable.
wounded, whether you're the junior guardsman on the bloomin', LSW or Chimpy or whatever it is,
No.
there'll always be someone to come in and replace you. So when I left, I wasn't the first bloke in my situation who left.
Yeah.
But what I didn't do is I didn't say enough to people who had left in the previous 3-5 years or whatever, saying, what did you do when you leave? What advice can you give me? How do you think I should go about this process of leaving? Because you're indoctrinated in the army. If you've done, a few years in there, you're going to be made the person you are by the army. I'm definitely still, even though it's a million years ago, I still am, a soldier. That's how I feel. That's how I can.
Officer.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be serious. No.
Okay, fair enough. But you have standards about yourself.
So, a prime example for this, for the camera, is like I pitch myself as a dumbass fucking infantier that just trained and had one purpose to fucking kill people, which in the umbrella world is bang on. However, in the civvy world, is not 100% correct, because I am very good at multitasking. I am very good at problem solving. I am very good at, weirdly enough, managing people, even as a bod, because you do them fucking jobs within battalion. Loads of other attributes that I and most infantry breeze over.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is my army career was miles different to both of yours, in the sense of I now understand people a lot more as opposed to like responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I word this is, because I was always in and out of this self-loathing, self-pity, going on the biff, working in the welfare office and avoiding doing my actual work for a good majority of my Lancs career. What I've understood is how people can think. So when it comes to outside of civilian life, if they've still got that self-pity and they can't get out of bed to go find a job, I can kind of cater to them a little bit. I can help push them in the direction of try going to the gym. So I can kind of, because I knew as soon as I started going to the gym that I felt better about myself. So if I see a veteran struggling, because they involuntarily did fizz in the morning, which then made them feel better. But because that stopped, they now feel worse. So the fact that you discipline yourself to go to the gym, you've created a discipline, and now you feel better. So going from what I learned as a crow bag to the end of my army career is feeling sorry for yourself doesn't help, and you do have to help yourself. That's the path that I've gone down of like self-help.
When did the bottom third podcast come into a fucking self-help fucking program?
Yeah, I know. Well, just what I'm saying, like people learn
Yeah.
multitasking and all that shit. I've learned a lot about people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still not very practical. Like setting up the tripod, that took me 20 minutes. Alex, done.
That's because it's my tripod and I know how to use it.
Not fanned up on that one tripod.
Yeah.
But that's sort of my shtick. You can manage people. I can get how people think.
Yeah, absolutely. But ironically, in Civvy Street, people don't want people managers because they don't make money.
Do you know what I've found since being in Civvy Street is like the most desirable factor of a human being that companies want is problem solvers?
I thought it was pronouns.
No, no. Ooh, we'll move swiftly on. Yeah, problem solving. But the amount of times I've been in a room and people that's been in a job, whatever job that is, and I'm not going to name any because I don't want to shit drop them, but that they sat around the table and go, oh, well, we've got this problem, I don't know how to do it. And I've walked in and gone, well, you just do it like that.
Yeah.
You know, you just move this piece to then make a gap for that, and you're done.
So,
and then they're like, oh, fucking hell, yeah.
So the point you've both made in totally different ways is exactly what I'm saying, is that the best way to leave the services is to talk to people like you, and to an extent me, and find out what happened, what we learned, the good lessons, the bad lessons, and the fact that thousands of people have done it before you
is poignant to mention. There are ups and downs in that transition.
Yeah.
Like massive in there. Like it's all well and good just saying, oh yeah, no, it's great, but it's not. It's fucking hard work.
Well, this is the good thing about WeServe and what they're trying to do and why I actually believe in it. The fact that they're going to have the community section, which I'm going to highlight as a social media, even though we're still a bit unsure as to how to actually word it.
Yeah.
But it's a veteran and their family's social media. So you know for a fact that as soon as you ask a question, say like you post a story or whatever, any veteran can see it, same as they would on any sort of other social media, and give you advice there and then, and you know it's coming from a veteran, or at least from their family members.
Because it's going to be verified.
Yeah, you've got to be.
No waltz allowed.
No waltz. You've got to show your MOD 100, is it called? Your veteran ID card?
Yeah, MOD 100.
proof of service.
Proof of service.
Proof of service, yeah.
And then they'll go, right, you're not a walt. Boom. And
Yeah.
there you go.
So I think that that community piece is really important because we help each other, and the world of the veteran now. Let's be honest. When you leave the military, the MOD drop you. Like I said, they have no interest in you because they're focusing on Ukraine and Gaza and stuff like that, and bigger stuff. That's where the budget's got to go to. We all understand that. The only thing they're worried about is if you've, those who've got a pension to make sure that's being paid, etc., etc. But they really don't give a monkey's.
No.
What's happened is
What they do care about, though, is keeping your details up to date for your recall list. As I found out very fucking, not for me, my brother got a letter, and then I've got a group chat where they've got fucking, I think we've got 150 people in it, and there've been loads of fucking pictures. Like, what the fuck is this? There've been lots of pods out there flapping.
Fortunately, I'm way too ancient for that. So I'm way past that. But yeah, it's about helping each other, and the veteran space is full of so many people wanting to do good. And what they do is they go and do good. They go and set up a breakfast club. They go and set up a cafe, and it's for veterans. They want to try and help them, or they'll go and work they'll set up a charity or something along those lines. Or like me, I set up a recruitment company. But the reality of it is, you're only affecting a tiny amount of people. And what we think that WeServe could do is bring that all together into one place. And you've got this, it focuses on a number of different things, but the key bits of the community, where we can actually help each other in one place, rather than having to go research a million blooming breakfast clubs in the UK or cafes or groups or whatever. And also the employment aspect. And by doing that, we're also helping, guess what? People's mental health, because people are like Danny will say, try going to the gym because it makes you feel better.
Exactly.
And the employment bit we can talk about a little bit more because I think I'm ironically one of the better people to talk about it because actually, despite the fact that I sound like a guards officer, my life was not straightforward when I left the army. My civvy life has been hard, and there have been times where I've been unemployed for 6 months, possibly a bit more, and that's been incredibly difficult. So to be part of something like this that we served and running the employment bit, and we could talk a bit more about that, is super exciting because it brings it all into one place, and it's not, a bit here and a bit there. There are 2,500 military charities in the UK.
2.5. How many?
2,500.
Oh,
Roughly.
I thought you said million for some reason. I was like, what the fuck?
2,500. But if you think about that, that's mad.
Yeah.
It's so easy to fall through the gaps.
Oh yeah.
So if you go and find, if you want to look, say you're struggling with, or you, I don't know, you're looking to make a claim because you've been shot in the face twice, then who do you go to? There are so many different people you can go to, and actually we want to simplify that and bring it all into one space.
Yeah, and it's not that we served as trying to sort of bypass all those charities. The charities can create their own groups within the community page, same as the one on Facebook, and people can discover those cafes that they might not have known as in their town. So like Tommy's Lounge, for example, in Huddersfield. Do you live?
Did you just say Tommy's Town?
Lounge.
Oh,
Lounge.
Tommy's Lounge. Yeah.
Do you need a hearing claim?
No, open up your
Hearing
ears.
claim?
Oh, maybe.
Who? Yeah, so if Tommy's Lounge in Huddersfield, that gets discovered by a veteran who also lives in Huddersfield but didn't know it existed. That's now a connection made, and you can go there, have a chinwag. If some people might want a chinwag via the community page, just by posting, but some people might want a bit more of an in-person interaction. So you can search for all these different veteran cafes and just go to one, and that's just another connection there.
Yeah.
And it's the same for if the charity, so like Mick, for example, say a veteran goes in and says, right, I'm struggling to find work. Mick can then go, oh, well, we served of an employment piece. Let's get you signed up and I'll walk you through the process. I've done this for another 3 blokes before. And there's your self-help system. You don't have to worry about any externals like RBL being run by the diversity
I've got a
manager
question.
and all that shit.
I've got a question. When was the last time you shit yourself?
Oh, yeah, because that's a new one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a new question.
Great question.
Yeah.
Have you ever shit yourself?
Have you ever shit yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, everyone shit themselves, haven't they?
Yeah, I've done
Once.
it while gaming though when I was like 14.
So I.
Do you know why? Do you know why I fucking thought that? While you was waffling, I was zoning out. I was just thinking of Andy McNabb's fucking episode from season 2, where he admitted to shitting himself twice on the same day. Was it?
No, 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 separate. Just admitted to
Want to
shit.
hear the story?
Yeah, go. Yeah,
So
sorry.
I was at adventurous training while I was at Sandhurst, so we're talking early 90s, and I was in New Zealand, and we walked up. We were doing something quite adventurous actually. We walked up a glacier with car pumps,
that's
stuff like that.
That's nails, that.
In New Zealand, and we stopped for the night in this hut that had been built halfway up the hill.
And New Zealand, like, super hot.
No, I was thinking
No.
that.
No, it's similar climate to the UK.
Yeah, but we ain't got no glaciers.
No.
Yeah,
Scotland.
that was a zinger.
Oh,
That,
Scotland. Anyway, so we're in there, and we spend the night there, and we're going to carry on up the mountain the following day. And I think I woke up about 5 a.m, and there were I don't know, half a dozen of us, something like that. One's just still in. He's a brigadier. He might be able to verify this, but I literally said,
Whoa. I'm going to stop you there. As much as I love officers, let's not be getting any brigadiers involved. All right.
"Fuck, he's a nice bloke. I could tell you some funny stories about him." I tell you, but I said, we're in this hut, and I said, "No, who's got the bog roll?" I said, "No, I've got the bog roll," because we had to carry our own. And a couple of them sort of in their sleep and go, and I said, "Oh, too late."
Oh.
you just said it there.
It was instant. It was an absolute disaster. And I just said, "Oh fuck, bomb's gone."
Clean up on aisle 3.
Yeah. So literally, from waking up needing a tom tit in the morning. Tom tit.
Oh, it's rhyming slang, that.
Rhyming slang.
Oh, that shit, yeah.
Yeah.
All that copy.
I'm half Cockney. No.
Hang on a minute. Whoa, you fucking saying you're Irish guy from Liverpool? Like, there's some inconsistencies here, mate. No, what the fuck?
But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I did have an accident, and I had to.
Was that the only time you shoot yourself?
Apart from when I was probably a boy,
Yeah, it's just
sadly.
anywhere between 0 and 2.
Yeah. Presumably, you've told your stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all got our
Yeah, they're all out there, yeah.
This is now.
Who's shot themselves the most?
Oh, probably me.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Put
From
it
what
up to
age?
that?
Let's say from age 10.
Oh, still probably me.
Yeah, I've only done it once.
Have you got a number on that one, Alex?
Well, I can say at least 5 times pissed off.
Oh wow,
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to be
One of those.
fucking
Do you know what, saying this?
Yeah, heavy drinker.
This
But
is something that
I've got, so to clarify, I've got a really fast, or I used to have a really fast metabolism when I
no,
was
it's
a
just a
youth.
fat dickhead.
Yeah, I was just a fat dickhead. So when I used to get a fucking skinful, it used to go through. And if I wasn't pissing enough, it'd just come out. Yeah, that's clarification of why I shoot myself so many times when I was pissed up.
So that's something that was interesting. That it's things that you don't think about. So lads, so you know, like Reddit, people would just ask
Yeah.
questions. What was it like in Afghanistan? Blah blah blah. And there was one comment that basically said, "You'd be surprised how many lads were pissing themselves."
Yeah.
In bed at night.
Yeah.
It's not from fear, but because you had to hydrate so much.
Yeah.
It'd just be a nightmare to get out of bed, or you just sleep through it because you're that knackered. You just piss yourself.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was just such a weird fact. So we're talking about shitting ourselves, a little bit off base, but I thought I'll throw that in there.
Well, it's only one.
One hole away.
What about when you're on parade as a guardsman?
I never shit myself on parade.
No, that would be bad. But lots of people just have a.
So on our Troop in the Colour, actually going fucking right back to the beginning, Troop in the Colour 2005. One of the lads next to me, he shot when he was on horse guards. Yeah,
Did he?
yeah.
Just have to
and,
put it
and he had to shake it out the bottom of his fucking leg.
Like the Great Escape, where they're doing
Yeah.
the soil out the trousers.
That's fucking fun bit. Yeah. Don't think I've ever pissed myself.
Do you not?
Nah.
Do you know what's interesting?
Because I was always like fucking super on the fucking beat. Like if I was going out on guard to stand there for 2 hours, I'd make sure I'd got to the toilet before I went out. Or, well, both actually. Not slow my drinking down beforehand to then make sure I went for a piss before I went out on guard.
It's a bit like me at night these days.
Yeah.
You know, as an old man.
Yeah. I'm not far behind
If
you.
I drink pints, I don't. That's why I think people slow down, start drinking wine and things as they get older, because you're drinking less volume. Means you don't have to get up for it.
Also, the stronger you get pissed quicker.
I don't know, because I don't drink even that much water, to be honest. And then, like, last night, 25 past midnight, went out for a piss, and then I woke up at 6 and needed another piss.
Oh, you're getting
Don't
old.
fucking lie, Danny. You pissed in a bottle.
I pissed in a bottle in it, but I started to get up. I didn't like fucking roll over like a casual.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting. I'll just point this out to the audience that we've like been in comms since like 10 this morning. What time is it now?
I don't know. My phone's
3,
on there.
3, yeah.
Yeah, so some of the bits have already been spun. I'm just trying to recall as to what we were talking about. Just to like the Liverpool t-shirt, for example.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we breezed over, like talked about before that was quite interesting? Maybe like the adolescence thing, but
It's not really bottom third material.
it's not
is
bottom
it?
third material. But I was just trying
Just
to-
don't
what
be a
was I
fucking
talking
dickhead going around stabbing people.
about? Yeah,
That's it.
unless you got a bayonet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unless you're actually being paid to do it.
Yeah. Well, no.
No, actually, no.
If you get a hit on someone's head in Civvy Street, probably not.
Yeah.
But if you're like in the middle of Ukraine, sure.
Yeah.
Do Ukrainians use bayonets?
I imagine they must.
Yeah, it must have.
Has there been any bayonet
I don't
charges
know.
in Ukraine?
I don't think. I think
don't know.
Russians haven't got enough energy to get to their action.
Yeah.
Do you know what I was thinking about the other day, actually? I was thinking, like, this is really offbeat. But, like,
I love an offbeat
do you know
fucking
the
comment.
Germans? Do you reckon they have, like, a Reggie history thing? Do you know, like, the likes of, like, oh, fucking World War One, this happened, blah, blah, blah. But the Germans have, like, Reggie history. Oh,
They must do.
back when the SS were... Like,
Imagine being the bod spinning that
I
thing.
know, yeah.
Fucking hell.
So you think they're just too embarrassed?
Yeah, well,
I
I'm, fun fact, I'm quarter German.
What a German.
Yeah,
Oh, and also,
what?
you're a bit of the African persuasion, aren't you?
Oh, fucking hell. I'm getting it from all sides now.
So he can drop the
How
M
do
bomb.
I explain this? Right, so no, I'm not dropping the M bomb.
Well, no.
no.
No, we can drop this one. New in green. Have you had that one before?
Oh, Nick.
Nig.
Yeah.
New in green.
N-I-G.
Yeah.
Yeah, new in green. So
There used to be New Guy, I think.
yeah, new guy in green. Yeah. Also, the artillery use it for new in gunner.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to your African heritage.
Fucking hell. So, my biological grandfather is Jamaican black.
Cool.
No, great grandfather. Yeah, it's biological.
That makes you half, quarter, 1/8.
Yeah, 1/8 Jamaican
Yeah.
somewhere. And I'm also,
Can I ask, are you a good dancer?
I am actually, yeah, I am. So, but yeah, fun fact. I don't know if I've ever actually spun this one on the.
No, you've never spun the dick that you're black. You've never.
no, about dancing. So I had fucking few years ago when I still had dancing shoes and shit. Went out on the piss in Lincoln, and there's a nightclub called Home.
I got my blue suede shoes.
No. So there's different layers to it. So the bottom floor is like 80s, 90s, like pop music.
Great generation.
Yeah, great generation. To be fair, that's where we spent most of our time. And then there's like a D&B fucking hall, and then there's like super dance, and then there's like R&B bit.
Okay.
And we, one of our friends we went out with, she was like massive into R&B, so we end up in the R&B hall-y bit. Naturally, yeah. Anyway, I got fucking 11, and I'd got a few fucking moves being thrown out, and then it just turned out that I ended up having a dance off with the black lad in the in this fucking night.
Just looking in the mirror.
Yeah, I actually fucking won.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, fucking yeah.
Did you give it back the robot?
Yeah. Oh man, I was throwing shapes all over the shop. Yeah.
That must be your Jamaican heritage.
Yeah, but probably, I don't know, maybe.
Hello, I got rhythm.
Oh no.
So yeah,
Those that don't know that fucking callback is Cool's running. Cool
running.
Cool running. In Jamaica, we have a bobsled team.
I don't know if you can keep that.
Yeah, it's a fucking. Yeah.
I can't believe that. So yeah, I think you're. I'm just trying to think. What? So, but the quarter German was the way you came in.
Yeah, quarter German. Yeah, that's where I started.
Who's that? Is that your?
So that's my grandma's. Actually grew up in Berlin during the war. During the war? What?
During the war.
Yeah, during the war. My granddad went over there to rebuild Berlin as part of not conscription.
Public service.
What is it when you have to?
National service.
Yeah, national service.
No,
as well.
well, two infantry bods.
Yeah.
To think of one phrase.
Yeah, so as part of national service, he went over there to rebuild Berlin. That's how they met, and then he brought it back,
Nice little Fraulein.
which is smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Oh well, there you
it's
go.
fucking
That's-
scary. My grandma. Yeah, I don't know if you'll ever meet her now because she's knocking on the door. But
Is she? Oh, really?
yeah, no, not this door. But yeah, she's fucking she's a scary woman.
Really.
Oh yeah, fucking hell yeah.
And do you think there's any of her in you?
Yes,
You're quite scary. Are you
I
scary?
can-
So your
I can.
kids think you're scary?
Daddy can vouch for that because I gave my daughter a bollocking last night, didn't I?
To be honest, I was dying inside. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I thought I better not ruin the moment.
Yeah.
But his fathering came out, and I was like, breaking points. Fucking hell.
Really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She shut up though.
I lost my rag with some. My son had a party, his 21st. There was all sorts going on.
They trashed the house?
That. Yeah, it wasn't a great. It's
At
probably not-
your place, I'm guessing.
at our house, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I got a grip on this young lad
Hmm.
who basically.
Of this young lad.
Oh, so what do you mean your son?
No, it wasn't my son.
Oh, fucking quality! Fucking quality!
The people who witnessed me, and it was a real throwback to army times. I literally was tearing him a new one at 2 a.m, 3 a.m.
And he's levered.
He's basically swamped a mattress
Oh, right, yeah.
and then moved to another bed and swamped my son's mattress.
Oh, fucking hell.
Two mattresses swamped. You know what swamped?
No.
Piss the bed.
Piss the bed.
Yeah. Slam in the bed.
Slam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've literally pulled him out of my son's bed, and I've got a grip of him. I tell you what, I'm calling him everything.
Physically got a grip of
Physically
it.
got a
Oh,
grip of it.
fucking love it.
So get yourself,
Oh.
and I started treating him like I would a soldier. And I just said, get yourself down, get yourself in that shower, get your clothes off, rinse all your clothes out, you stinky bastard. I was calling him everything. But the C word came out and everything.
Oh, yes. That's a fucking
people
high
who
five.
witnessed it, the kids, the 21-year-olds who witnessed it, thought, shit, not going near Hemi's dad anytime soon. That was quite scary. I was right in the zone there. Yeah, but still,
I've got a fucking similar to that. I don't know if we want to fucking put
I
it.
know these are civvy dits. I'm quite happy with these. But,
Yeah.
these are veteran dits. Sorry.
Yeah, veteran dits. Yeah, veteran dits.
I mean, let's have a quick here.
about 40 minutes, I reckon.
How long do you reckon?
Like an hour and 5.
57 minutes.
Oh, you're close then.
Been on stagger lot.
Yeah. So my dad, I tell you, I mean, I could. My dad is national service,
Yeah.
and he's got lots of stories. Here's the one guy who's one of his pals was charged for falling asleep on stag. And he said I wasn't asleep. I was just trying to see how long I could keep my eyes closed without falling asleep.
That's.
What? Hang on a fucking minute. How the fuck does that work? I was seeing how long I could keep
My eyes closed.
my eyes closed without falling asleep. Surely that's just falling asleep, isn't it?
Of course it is. But it was his excuse to get out of it.
That's
It's a good
right.
excuse, though, right?
Holy shit, that's
Because you're denying it. If you admit it, then you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about national service?
yeah. How do you? Yeah.
Not now, no. Just we were professional soldiers. I just think it would dilute everything so badly.
It's already diluted anyway, isn't it?
It's a different army to the one I joined a million years ago. It's we were 115,000, 110,000 when I joined, something like that. Sadly, 3,000 people now, and I think also the youngsters are
The different breed of humans, aren't they?
different. Yeah, they have different expectations. They're a bit more entitled, perhaps, and
I think what I've noticed, just looking back at, I'm going to use this word now to make you feel absolutely ancient. Footage.
yeah.
When I look at footage of like the good old days.
What do you class as the good old days, though? Because your good old days will be very different to mine.
Probably when I got married.
I'd probably say 3 tours before the end of Herrick.
That's what you're classing as the good old days.
So it's like when the army was strong, is what I'm saying. But looking back, there was no skinny lads. Do you know what I mean? Like the lads that I see coming through are like 5'7", 8, 9, and they're like, but I was stick thin,
Yeah,
and they
me too.
so they were. So I was 63 kilos, and my burger would be like 70 kilos
Yeah,
with all
Yeah.
the kit. So it's like, how the fuck? How was I allowed to get past that stage?
How's your back and knees?
Fucked. So
Yeah.
surely you'd think there'd be some sort of like, right, you've got to be at least 75 kilos. That's the cut-off for infantry. Because if you get given an anti-tank fucking missile,
Well, guess what? What's changed? Since, what's
Two-man
changed-
lifts, then, mate. Two-man lifts.
exactly.
What's changed since I was in is the fact that there are women in the infantry now.
That's even worse. What's your opinion of it? Go on. Everyone knows my opinion. I'm not going to go through the rant. I'll save you it.
This is a little bit more tricky, and I'm very aware of the fact that I'm a 53-year-old white man of a certain background and whatever else. But I am unsure of it, if I'm brutally honest. I think if you're physically up to it and you're an exceptional female physically in terms of your fitness and stuff like that, crack on. But then there's the nagging doubt about what happens if you're alongside this girl and she gets shot, and you feel more of an instinct to go to her and help her than you would if it was a bloke and you've got to carry on with the mission, your task. That's an argument, and I kind of get that. But I think fundamentally, the majority of them are, as you say, they're not going to be 75 kilos. And they're not going to be able to be, physically. I just think it's quite a tricky balancing act now.
What's the average height of a woman?
5'6".
I don't know. That's a Google question. That
5'6". Average height of a man, 5'10", 5'11".
Yeah.
Now, 5'10", 5'11", say 75 kilos alone. At 5'6" as a female, how much are you carrying? Considering women like to look after themselves and don't want to put on that extra weight, whether it's muscle or fat. maybe 55 kilos, and then their kit on top of the guy's kit. That chasm, because if you're doing a pairs fighting maneuver, one of you goes down, it happens to be the guy, she's not dragging him out.
No.
Regardless of whether they can do the job mentally, physically is just...
See, I sit on the other side of that fence.
You've got the
I'm all
social-
up for it. Because when I went through training, and this is, I've spun my side of this far too many times. When I went through training, I was in a platoon that was half women. So as you go through basic training in Harrogate, you do all infantry stuff. So I was sharing bashes with females, and the females that made it through basic training was of a standard that could do basic infantry, and I can't see why that then couldn't be filtered down again to those that actually want to be infantry doing that job. Does that make sense? Have I explained that right?
Yeah, well, because like my count is that always, even for the skinny guys, I'm saying this is guys as well, 75 kilos minimum. I think Royal Marines had a weight requirement. I don't think it's there now. My platoon sergeant, Fijian, 115 kilos. I couldn't carry him.
It's a big unit.
Then his kit.
Yeah, but it wouldn't just be this.
It wouldn't just be me, but I'm saying because
this is the misconception. Is you're basing it on a one-on-one situation.
Sometimes one-on-ones happens.
Yeah, but when have you ever been out patrol with just you and one other?
It's not that. It's closing with the enemy. It's section commander.
Yeah, your bards, your support aren't that far away that if you go man down, you clear the position, they come up and fucking help carry you back.
All right, let's say this is a really, I'm going to fuck you over with this again. It's very petty.
Go on.
Section commander's the only bloke.
What do you mean the only bloke?
Is a Fijian, 115 kilos. The grenadier is the female, and then let's say 3 bods before that are all females as well. In my opinion, 4 females scrambling to pull a Fijian bloke out of a suppressive
that wouldn't
fire.
happen anyway. The rest of the unit would move up.
Depends on
The
situation. Depends.
So you're going off a fire team.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of that section, which is another 4 bods?
Well,
they're not
depends
really that far,
200
are they?
meters away.
They're not that far, because if you think about the basis of a section attack, you come up, you establish your fucking your baseline,
Depending on ground.
and then depending on ground, then the fucking after the one fire team peel off to the side, then drop to 45, and then to go and fucking clear the position.
No.
Like, they're not going to be that fucking far, and even behind them, you've got the rest of the platoon.
Cool. Right. Okay.
Go on.
Tactics aside, then the social dynamic of it. What do guys and girls like to do?
That's an argument I can't argue, because and I'm not going to drop any names, I know a female infantier that has spent less than a year in battalion and was pregnant.
Yeah, that's not good.
Imagine being a man down because a bird is a man up.
Yeah.
I was going to ask a question. Did she know who the father was?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a relief.
that's interesting.
I don't think they're together, though.
No, exactly. I mean, I think that is a factor.
That is the tricky part of that whole conversation.
And why are they in the same section?
I don't think they was in the same section. They was in the same company.
Same company.
Yeah. I think they went for, and this is just what I've been told through third party, is a few of them went out in the piss, got levered, come back, and ended up sleeping.
Broadly, I think, as the father of 2 daughters, I think they should be given every chance to do whatever they want, and empower women as much as you can. But I think that probably there needs to be, I think genuinely, since my day, the physical benchmark has dropped.
I was in standard of soldier.
And the physicality, in terms of the physical tests that used to be done and are done now, have dropped, with a view to, I don't know, accommodating, trying to get females into that world, because 70 kilo on your back as a 5'6", 50 kilo woman is really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Really tough.
Yeah.
But in principle, I think they should be given every opportunity. A fellow of my old regiment, has just taken on the first female guards officer. And apparently,
Female guards officer. Ah,
apparently
interesting.
she is absolutely brilliant at everything she does.
Yeah.
She's really good, and she's not a complete, beast of a. So
Shit house, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, she's gone down really well. She's
good.
She's really good. By all accounts.
Oh shit! You can answer a question actually.
Okay.
So
You're moving away from me.
no. It's just to get a better angle on the fucking breaking point. So
Sharpen it.
yeah. So the rumour mill around from guardsman to officer or guards officer is that to get into the guards. Now, and I'm not expecting you to know the answer specifically for grenadiers, but guards officers, you've got to come from a wealthy family that has land. Is that true?
No.
So how does that process work?
How do you become a guards officer?
Yeah, because we've discussed it before.
I thought
Haven't we?
officers need at least 1 degree.
No, that's not. That's
I don't
changed
have
now.
a degree.
Yeah, that's changed. Oh, has it always been like that?
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay. So yeah, we've been through it before. Officers go to Sandhurst with no regiment in mind.
Again, it was different for me, but yeah. And
Right. Yeah. Imagine you have an idea of where you want to go.
Yeah.
Because I've spoken to officers that went Royal Logistics, and that's where they wanted to go.
I don't know who would want to do that.
But me neither. But it was But yeah. So go on, carry on.
So to become a guards officer, you need to be effectively interviewed and accepted by the regiment.
Yeah.
The likelihood is, well, in the old days, you'd been frightfully, and you would probably have come from a landed gentry family, where you probably had a shoot and a couple of thousand acres and staff and whatever. But obviously, that's not the case now. And I happen to know that in the foot guards these days, it's just a high bar to entry. If you're not in the top 20% or even 10% of the Sandhurst intake,
We're fucked.
they won't take you. And some regiments obviously will have, there is a hierarchy. The best regiments get the best officers.
Yeah.
And that also depends on, if you get the best officers. So a friend of mine who I joined with is now head of the army.
What,
as in chief of general staff.
Fucking hell. Get him in here.
So he is, he would have, he could have chosen any regiment he wanted to because he won the Sword of Honour.
Yeah. What's the Sword of Honour?
Sword of Honour is the best cadet in his intake.
Oh, right. Did you know about that?
No,
You probably wouldn't have done.
I think the equivalent's like Golden Bayonet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that when you get the Golden Bayonet?
When you're an absolute fucking warrior in depot.
Yeah, when you go
You're
through
an absolute shitbag in fucking battalion. Everyone takes the piss out of you.
Yeah.
So you try less.
Yeah. So the same principle, right? So if you want to join an elite infantry regiment, you got to be bloody good.
Yeah.
And then
So what you class as an elite infantry regiment?
Duke of Lancaster's regiment.
Get to the back of the line. So obviously guards are going to be up there. Paras,
yeah.
Gurkhas,
yep, that sort of thing. And then, there is kind of a hierarchy. I wouldn't want to put too much store on that because it does vary a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there's a
But
reason
let's
why
just
Grenadiers are first or Grenadier Regiment of Foot Guards. Hashtag just saying.
Hashtag just saying.
Hashtag not bothered.
Hashtag fucking shit did.
What's your infantry regiment's number?
What? Fucking number 1. Duke of Lancs.
That's first battalion, Duke of Lance.
Yeah,
There'll be a something afoot.
Yeah.
Which is
Your full regiment's name will be so many numbers of foot. Fucking whatever.
There you go.
You don't know you fucking regimental history. Yeah.
So what I will say is that, and without there is a, if you put the top infantry bods, top for infantry regiments at the top of that thing, and then the armour corps as well, they'd have some really good officers.
Armour corps,
cavalry, tankies.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you call them.
Donkey wallopers.
Donkey wallopers.
Yeah.
And then of course, you need to have for people from the middle third, and of course the
bottom third.
Yeah. Where do you think they end up?
On the
Shit
podcast.
regiments. In the Duke of Lancs, probably.
Oh yeah, full of Scousers, Manx, and Cumbrians. So
And they don't need to have a degree necessarily. They don't need to be privately educated. They can come from anywhere, including the guards officers. But actually, you want to fit in your regiment.
Yeah.
You want to fit. So if you were at school in Lincoln down the road here and you were smart and you went to Sandhurst, you're probably not going to be best mates with posho guards officer who lives in the bunk next door to you.
No.
So you don't want to join up with them. You want to go where your sort of people are. And I suppose that's the same in life, right?
Yeah.
okay, so your sort of people, then obviously, right, we'll go both ways. Out of your sort of people and our sort of people, how many dealings have you had to have with like guys and people doing mischievous things? I want to hear some dates now.
Well, I sat on one court martial.
Oh shit! Okay, right.
As in you were on it?
No, I wasn't on it. I was one of the officers.
Oh god.
So you have a so effectively you have a judge advocate, and who's a judge, and then you have a couple of officers, and then you get the defence and the prosecution, and there was a bloke who was in for beating the crap out of a bloke at night with a nightstick.
Yeah.
And it was
You know what a nightstick is?
It's like a kosh.
Yeah, American police stick, effectively. And he was a bad man. Anyway, he was up for trial, and we convicted him or we found him guilty and sent him to 2.5 years in custodial sentence in prison. And the reason it would have been 2 years, but the reason we made it 2.5 years was because he was a proper muppet in executing his crime. So he went to this guy's. It was a young private soldier. This guy was a corporal, I think, section commander.
Right.
And the young private soldier was a bit of one with the ladies, and he was jealous of him, of the young guy.
Oh, okay.
Beat him at night, probably pissed, with this nightstick, and actually had a sock with snooker balls in or something like that. Nasty.
Oh, fucking hell. Proper went in.
Yeah, proper went in. Anyway, what he'd also done is he put on a disguise. So he put on a respirator.
Mustache, glasses.
He put on a respirator. And for some reason, he decided to put on his whole NBC suit, CBRN suit.
It's got his that number on it.
It's got his name glove. So
What a fucking man.
We were going to give him 2 years, but we sent him out for an extra 6 months of being a knob.
Fucking absolute dickhead. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, what a knob.
Yeah. That's classic. Nasty business. Not very nice. But there you go.
Yeah.
So we were talking about officers and my sort of people or guys and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what officer did the most stupid thing? Because the lower I don't hear about it. It's the officers that have to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good story about a guy who's a very senior officer in the army, still serving.
No names.
No names. But
Or
if you're
rank.
listening,
No,
you'll know
or
what I'm
rank.
talking about.
He probably does listen then. But yeah.
Anyway, went to a wedding of a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And we're all young and single, and everyone's sort of got the eye out for any hot chicks that might might like a young officer, charming guards officer. We were fit, obviously, and anyway, there was one particular girl who was very beautiful, and everyone was sniffing around her like flies around, And one of these guys snuck her off and went and took her back to his hotel. And then the following morning, she was properly tidy as well. Following morning,
We'll cut that bit out.
cut that bit out.
Okay. I'm getting nervous now.
I'm like that.
And he the following morning, after a night of whatever in the hotel, he took her walked her home, back to her house. And we were all 26, 7 to get her A-level results. She was only 18.
Oh.
She might not have been even 18.
Oh, that's twitch. That's twitchy.
Anyway, yeah. That's a good story. And
To be
on
fair,
the off camera, I'll tell you who it is.
that happens a fuckload. Because I had a couple of lads in my unit that was going out in Aldershot, and again, no names, but like picking up chicks and then coming back and then finding out the next day that 16, 17 years old.
Oh God! Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was one of the jobs I did was I was commanded guards training company at Catterick, and there was a young guy there who was 17. He'd come from Harrogate, I think, and he was a bit wet behind the ears. He was a bit of a wet wipe. So he had a girlfriend. Every night he'd be phoning her saying, it's hard, blah blah blah. And the lads got on his case a bit.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit older, obviously, and one of them nicked his phone because he was always on it to his girlfriend. Took a dick pic, sent it to her. I, as the company commander, then got a phone call the next day from her parents. She was 15,
Oh,
and he was thinking,
oh,
"Oh my
fucking
God,
hell.
sex offenders register. Here we go."
So it wasn't even.
Oh shit! So did he get actually charged for that?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say
Because it wasn't the guy that was talking to her. It was one of the other
lads. Yeah,
One of the other lads.
That is fucking hilarious.
yeah. It's funny, but still very
That's at the
serious.
beginning of mobile phones. Mobile phones, nightmares with kids and all that sort of thing. Nightmare.
Have you seen those nonce hunters? There's a guy
Yeah.
that keeps getting caught.
Yeah, wait.
Actually, the red arrows to big part.
No, that's the ambicopter.
Is it?
Yeah, ambicopter's based up on one of those. Up. Carry on.
Action, yeah. So, nonce catchers. There's a bloke, probably fresh out of Harrogate as well, 18. While he's on guard, he's FaceTiming this 12-year-old. Supposedly has been caught twice
You're kidding.
by the same group.
Fucking god.
Jeez.
And we had a lad in the Lancs, fresh out of Harrogate, believe it or not. It was in battalion maybe about three months. During this time, he managed to get himself on parade with trainers on because he put himself on the biff. But we hit his beret, so he also had his bongi on parade. So he's just an absolute fucking nightmare.
Oh dear.
And then one day he comes in and is like, yeah, I've been arrested. I punched a copper. Our platoon sergeant, Scouser, hard as fuck, saw right through it. It was like, because it is a bit of a wet wipe. About 20 minutes later, he's running around the corridor, volleying all the doors open, going, lads, he's a nonce, he's a nonce. While he was in the nightclub, he pulled a 15-year-old
Oh dear.
and woke up
Oh, I've got problems with that.
in her
I've
house,
got
going
fucking-
downstairs. Her dad's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've got major problems with that. Like, how can a person, and I'm not just talking squaddies here, how can blokes be held accountable for a 15-year-old being in a nightclub? You're supposed to be fucking 18.
I think the bouncer should be
Yeah.
also held accountable.
Yeah, it's like, I totally get that, you know, if you're fucking a little, well, you should be questioning stuff. But you're not, like, I've never been out in a fucking piss, got with a bird, and oh, can I see some ID, please, love? Do you know what I mean? You just don't fucking do it. Like, you're in a fucking nightclub that you have to be 18 to be in. Why the fuck are you under the age of 18 in that nightclub?
And the nightmare also is that the girls that don't look their age.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know, you get a 15-year-old who looks 23.
So you've not met my daughter yet. You met Bella. So she's 16, right? My oldest. And me and her went to the shop the other day. And I saw one of my mates that I've known for fucking, well, not seen for fucking years. He was like, oh, who's this, your missus? I was like, no, that's my daughter. Now, I don't know if that's like a good thing saying that she looks older than she does or I look younger than I do.
Yep.
But like, do you know what I mean? It's that fucking situation. It's like, why are fucking chicks, and this is directly to any fucking chicks who's out there,
Especially infantry.
yeah, don't be going to fucking nightclubs under the age of 18. It's just not fucking work. You're going to get people into a lot of fucking trouble.
There you go. Fucking hell, it's a bit of dad talk from here.
Yeah, it's one of my massive gripes, that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It just breaks me.
No, I definitely agree. I think there should be a system put in place. I mean, like, I still get ID'd for scratch cards because I don't look the age of 25, like it says on the fucking door. That rule needs to be enforced on nightclubs.
Me and Sarah went to go get some alcohol the other day. We got ID'd, the pair of us.
You're kidding.
No.
Flipping out.
So,
Yeah.
there you go. So they can ID you at a shop,
Yeah.
but then, yeah.
Suffice to say, it hasn't happened to me recently.
No, I'm not surprised.
I reckon it's the hair.
If you did that and I did my hair, that's a young face. It's a young face.
I mean, to be fair, you are quite wrinkle-free. Wrinkle-free cream?
It just depends on how much you laugh.
Well, this is it. Well, let's have a look. Oh, you've got the crow's feet. You're
Yeah,
definitely
there you go.
you're definitely a smiler. So
Yeah, I definitely am. Yeah. No, I always took the view when I was a soldier that I would always look after my soldiers as best I could, because I knew that, or I figured then, that if I'm looking out for them, when, not if, I drop a clanger, they might look after me as well. That was always my approach.
So I think I've spun this before, but when I was attached to the Royal Anglians, it was a massive culture shock because it's not as rigid over in the Royal Anglians. Excuse me. And another massive culture shock was how officers talk to the bods and the bods talk to the officer, as in a section platoon commander, and effectively out of earshot of any head hierarchy. But we just called him Sam.
No, you definitely...
You would not get away with that in the guards.
You've come from the ultimate guards, where you don't even say yes, you just say sir.
Yeah. So yeah, that was one of my massive culture shocks, working with a different infantry unit, and it's just like,
Might as well be in the RAF.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was fucking wild, and obviously you have to fucking, because guards going over there, especially like our section was made up of Queen's Company and Corps Drums, so like the top of the top, and we went over there with
drums.
Yeah. We went over and we got there on day one, and we was like calling all the corporals, you know, because in the guards you fucking land sergeants are called fucking sergeants. You know, it just, regardless, even lance corporals, some of them were all right, but like some of them had a bit of a fucking ego. But then went over, lance corporals in the Anglian was like, don't fucking call me that.
Yeah.
And even like the corporals, section commanders was like, yeah, don't be fucking calling me.
I love the...
Even the platoon sergeant as well, which was a fucking massive spanner in the works. Turned around and said, yeah, no, when there's nobody about, just call us fucking Steve.
Yeah.
Like that. What the fuck are we come into here?
That's a culture shock for you.
Yeah,
That's
massive
like
culture.
number one, mate. We call platoon sergeants like Paul or whatever.
Hey, bud.
But yeah, I just love like the hopes and dreams of the one pip gips that come through.
Oh,
And they're like,
you was that fucking bud once.
and they're like the Brecon pointing and they're like, get this done. But we had one South African come through for the Yorks, and he wouldn't call anyone by the names. Private wise, he'd call you private. So, private, get this done. I was like, that's a bit like surely that would be a compliment being called by my rank for a change, but I feel that hurt me. I'm Kingsman.
Oh shit, yeah.
Well, I would call you Guardsman Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you'd give the surname, wouldn't
Yeah, you would, yeah.
He was like,
you'd never say Guardsman, go and do this. No. You never would do that. You'd always give
It's that connection of personality, isn't it?
But
Interpersonal connection.
But I was never one of those blokes who thought I knew it all, ever.
Yeah.
And there are plenty, and you know who you are if you're watching.
Oh, well, that's the CB version. I'll translate.
Put that iron sight down. Have you not? I got that off an American. I'm not gonna lie. Hold my hands up. I got that off an American. Yeah, like iron sight. Put that iron sight down. There it goes.
Now, well, there you go. No, but I was never. I've been cocky. I was cocky when I put that Liverpool shot.
Oh yeah.
But not when I arrived. No way. I was very much two of them and one of them. You know.
Yeah.
I think that is the way to go. But you often get people who think they're nuts, and they're not invariably. And I know that the soldiers, the guardsmen, the kingsmen, the whatever else, just gonna think, what a knobber.
We'll just talk a bit more about like some things that we're getting on with We Serve, a couple of whatever.
We could talk about. So when we talk about We Served, you know, there's things like the partnerships. You know, this yacht company, the cruise company. You heard what the offer is there?
Easy Cruise. No, I don't know. I don't know
what they're called.
Ambassador
Cruises, I think.
Ambassador Cruise. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know the exact details, but it's something along the lines of, if they haven't filled a cabin 72 hours before, they're going to let that cabin go free to a veteran. to an authenticated veteran. And that costs
When? Adios.
a couple of grand. For that.
Yeah.
So
What, for the whole cruise?
for that, piece of the cruise, if it's a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. And what you've got to
Mate,
realise,
we need to get ourselves on one of them.
if you take that, I don't know, maybe we should check it with Tony at this stage or whatever. But when you're on board, you're going to be buying food and booze and having a few serves. So that's how they'll still make money out of it.
We'll make sure we get a company credit card beforehand.
No, yeah.
You imagine taking you
We'll work.
All the creatine and
Yeah,
protein shakes you
so
made.
good.
You could do a podcast for the Navy.
Do you know what? We could.
Jen, because there will be a fucking Navy bod on there somewhere.
Yeah.
So
He's probably the captain sailing the ship.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. You can make it happen. You're the bod.
But, that's a really good thing. 24/7 GP is unbelievable. I've used it. And obviously we've talked about the community and the employment, and I think those are the key bits probably.
I think the main thing with We Served is it's trying to help everyone as much as it can.
Yeah.
At the minute, it is very much what's the fucking phrase? Fucking jack of all trades, master of none.
Not everyone, veterans.
Well, every veteran.
What?
Every veteran.
Yeah, you said everyone.
Well, yeah.
Veterans
And their family.
and their family. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's very much a jack of all trades, master of none. They've got employment, still not quite got off the ground. They've got the community section, not quite live yet. Got all the ideas,
Oh yeah.
but we don't have the staff to man all of them.
Yeah.
So
Is
we
that
kind
not-
of need to rein it in a little bit and just hyper focus on the main ones.
Yeah.
But once everything gets up off the ground, gaming, streaming military films, audio books that are military specific, podcasts, veteran made music, because we've got a composer, haven't we, that we found at JP.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
reminded me, I'm going to do something now.
What?
On the way home, when I drive home later,
Yeah.
I'm going to phone my mate, who was James Blunt's squadron leader in the House of Cavalry, and say,
We're hoping to get him in that, yeah.
James Blunt, you need to be here.
Oh, we've got to do some market research on that. Fucking hell.
What,
No,
James
he's,
Blunt?
he's a really nice bloke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
James Blunt is sound.
He'll talk all day as well.
Good.
Yeah, he's a waffler.
We need waffles.
Another officer.
Yeah.
Stop World War Three though. Jen did.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that We Served is going to do, and we're trying to support it as much as we can.
Yeah.
I think it's a game changer. And I think the reason why We Served is a game changer, just pause because you can edit this in now.
Yeah.
The reason why We Served is a game changer is that it's going to really help young veterans. And I think that young veterans are most of the time ignored. They're not necessarily savvy enough to be on stuff like LinkedIn. They don't know how to write a CV. They don't know how to apply for a job or do an interview.
Some of them don't even know how to communicate properly.
Absolutely. But what we want to do is create an environment for the young people as well as the grown-ups and even the senior officers, even the brigadiers you don't want anywhere near here.
But to get them involved in your research, just not in my shed.
Fine.
Yeah. I don't like.
Sorry, Sanger.
Shanger.
Yeah. I don't really like brigadiers because they keep pinging my podcast,
Yeah.
which I'm not happy with.
They make us nervous.
I got a good bollocking from a brigadier once. That's worth telling. That's a dit in a minute. But
Off camera date, is that?
no, that could be a normal tip. It's a good one. And but yeah, so it's the young soldiers, young sailors, young airmen and women, and this is a game changer for them because there's opportunity for them. There's support around employment, around housing, around finance, around health, and then there's people who've done it before to help them. And that's what We Served is all about, is helping people of all ages. And don't forget, the technical definition of a veteran
It's 1 day served.
is 1 day served, which does open us up towards quite a lot,
Yeah.
I would say. My personal
Proof of service.
definition of a veteran would be someone who's passed basic training.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've got a different one. What's yours?
No, you do yours first.
Mine's minimum 4 years.
What, veteran?
Mm.
See,
Because getting out of the interview stage, which is training, Should be a
DAOR.
veteran.
Do you remember the DAOR window?
Yeah.
Up to 12 weeks or whatever it was.
Yeah. See, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and this is the hill I will die on. Like, day served, because from the moment you sign that dotted line, you know what you could potentially go into, regardless of the fact of you find it hard or whatever.
Right.
Like, you are signing your fucking life away, effectively, and the balls it takes to do that, because we've all done it, whether we were conscious or not about it. Like, when you sign that dotted line for your contract of employment to go into the military, you are effectively signing your fucking life away.
As Hugh would say, you are signing a check.
Up to the value and including the value of death.
Of your life, yeah. That's
So day served for me. Because
There's nothing saying you can't die in a freak accident day one training.
yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
TCV rolls over.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah.
All right, then, yeah, you won me over on that. Fine,
Yeah.
day served.
Yeah, day served.
Technically, they served.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Some people are 22 years.
Oh yeah, some of them are fucking. Some of you out there, fucking drive me nuts.
That's something I wanted to talk about as well. Veterans saying fucking. So veterans are always like advocates of like veterans need help, they need support. I've noticed whenever we do something like this, like never done a tour in his life, that's not a veteran. This. So they'll, in one instance, they're going veterans need lots of help, but as soon as they see people trying, the sun's going down.
Stands fast.
Stand to.
Back in. Go.
Is that number 6? Just shut yourself.
No, that's
Yeah,
Is that
definitely.
you?
That was you.
No, that's not me.
Flapped it. Yeah. So I don't like this attitude of veterans of like, oh, veterans are misunderstood. I'm entitled to this, blah blah blah. And then soon
Put
as
that in a different place.
no,
I have.
it's
shining
fine.
on your face.
It's fine. What is? What part was it on?
Just start from the beginning.
Fuck no. Right. Anyway, and as soon as veterans like us go, right, well, you want to help employ veterans. I want to help entertain veterans. You want to help whatever the fuck you do. I don't have a fucking clue.
I just want to take the piss out of people.
There you go. But then the comments come in. You're not a fucking veteran. Well, this, that, the other. But they'll be the same people that are like, we need to help veterans. So why shit on the people trying?
Yeah.
That's my issue.
Everyone has a place, and we all want to help or be of service to our fellow veterans.
Exactly.
You know, so don't knock it. Veterans take the piss by all accounts, and we're good at laughing at each other, and we're good at, you know, the fact that you're 27,
Good. Yep.
37,
Well remembered.
53, old, completely different. But here we are. This podcast could run for days.
Oh yeah.
of nonsense.
We started recording this about fucking what was it, about 1:30?
Something like that.
Yeah. And like we'd all like, you
minus
turned
2.
up. Yeah, you turned up at fucking like 10 o'clock. We've been on permanent Zen since fucking then, haven't we?
Yeah. That's what.
So we
what
could,
it's
yeah.
about. So that's what it should be for veterans.
Yeah.
Look out for each other. By all means, take the piss out of each other. Don't take it to heart if someone says something that upsets you, because it's easy to get upset.
Yeah.
It's just let it wash off you. Be more tolerant. Don't judge. Have a laugh. Be nice to people. Get on with it and support each other.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
That's it.
Yeah. Stop being a fucking knob.
That's it. Yeah. I think I said something a while ago. If you're not interested in helping veterans and you can't say anything nice, we'll say, about the veterans that do, just be a civvy.
Yeah.
You don't have to own the veteran card. If you don't want to be a veteran,
Yeah. Like, I get it a lot.
you still have the title if you ever change your mind.
Yeah.
But you
I
just
get it
fuck
a lot on TikTok. Oh, why are you fucking holding on to the military? You fucking got out fucking years ago. Just let it go. It's part of fucking, it's history now.
And it's the
No?
it's the backwards mentality of when I made that video of me, I used to be a florist wholesaler, did this, that video. Someone commented saying, well, why don't you just rejoin then if you can't stick at anything else? It's like, well, that's not the issue.
Yeah, that's such the wrong attitude.
That's
isn't
the
it?
what, just rejoin then give up. It's like, well, no, that's not really how it works. It's a case of I'm trying to find my footing. Rejoining would set me back more.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the logic behind it. So yeah, if you're a veteran that just calls out nonsense, you'll get called out back.
Yeah.
But you're still welcome on the community page if you want to say some bits.
Yeah. We need the data.
Yeah,
No.
that's it.
I mean, we do, but
Yeah. Any further closing comments, arguments, dits, and parts thereof?
Do you want to hear about my good bollocking?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Finish off on a
From a,
bollock.
yeah,
From
from
a
a big
brigadier.
brigadier. Yeah.
So I was a captain on my Recce Platoon Commanders, Armoured Recce Platoon Commanders course.
Yeah.
We were down doing the gunnery phase down in Bovington. And we
And
are
then-
moving.
That, to clarify, that's a 3-star army captain, not a captain of a ship.
Yes. Then hopefully they won't have joined the podcast an hour and a half in.
Yeah, not worked out. Sometimes though, you do have to clarify.
That's right. We are moving. Funnily enough, I was on that course with a guy who's now a 3-star general, lieutenant general. Another guy who's a major general. And there might be. There might even have been a brigadier on it. But anyway, the brigadier that I'm with them moving back from the vehicle sheds to the classroom to go and do some theory work, having done some practical in the morning. We all had to carry some the helmet, the vehicle helmets and headpiece, radio sets and stuff like that, and bits and bobs back to the classroom. And I'm carrying. Were you armoured?
No.
Did you ever do armoured?
Lancashire just transitioned from Armoured. I just
Okay,
missed it.
so I'm carrying this thing called a recuperator. Do you know what a recuperator is?
Not a fucking
A
clue.
recuperator is the recoil mechanism. It's about that long, and it's a metal tube about that sort of diameter.
Don't show the camera.
Yeah, about that sort of diameter. It's a metal tube about 3 foot long, and it's effectively the recoil system for a rod cannon that you get in a Warrior or a CVR.
Oh shit! Yeah. So I know what you're on about. Yeah, it goes on the inside. You fucking
yeah. And technically it lives in the armory,
yeah.
or it
Why?
lives in the armory because it's part of a weapon system.
Would you class this as like the firing pin? I'm a bit lost here.
So it's a recoil spring of the main
Right.
yeah
Send it.
of the
Okay.
main weapon of the
So when
warrior.
you fire a Warrior cannon, this thing it's between the commander and the gunner, and it goes boom, boom,
Yeah.
like that. Boom, boom. There you go. You
Yeah,
can see that.
that's
tickled
the
you.
only one.
That tickled you.
Fun out t-shirt.
Anyway,
Boom.
and as people are going past, I see the blokes ahead of me saluting this bloke. Bloke appears around the corner with red tabs, and then whatever. I was just obviously in a slightly giggly mood, but being a guardsman, I put the recuperator into the slope like this, up against the shoulder, and as I walked past him, I went and did an eyes right. I said, "Morning, sir," something like that, and then whipped it away after 5. You know, when you do a salute, that's the slope, you remember that? You know,
Yeah.
Up 2, 3, 4, 5, down swing. And as I literally
Can I just point out you got the timings well wrong, but carry on.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
and he literally shouts at me. He says, "You, you!" And I walked up to him and said, "Yes, sir." He
Do you still have it in a slope by this point?
No, no.
Oh, right.
And he said, "What's your name?" And I said, I'm thinking, fucking, I mean, again, what's going on here? I said, "Dan Wilkinson, sir." And he says, "Dan Wilkinson, Irish Guards, going to command the Coldstream Guards Recce Platoon in Germany." And I thought, how the hell do you know that? And then he launches into one. He says, "I'm a professional soldier, and one day I hope you grow up to be one."
Oh, mate, what an insult.
And he says, "I'm going to write a letter to your commanding officer, and I'm going to make sure I see your course report, and it wants to be a bloody good one. Now, get away." And I scurried off, skulking off. All my mates were peering around the corner, giggling. It was
Yeah.
a massive
What was he giving you a bollocking for?
Because he fucking saluted with a fucking firing pin.
But anyway, and it turned out that the brigadier in question was a really nice man who was director infantry at the time. A guy called Strudwick, Brigadier Strudwick. And he died a couple of years ago, and his son's in the army, and he was a fusilier, and he was a super nice guy. And it turns out, I think he'd had a really bad day at the office.
Oh,
He was
just
really
di-
grumpy.
just
And
didn't
he
get the
wanted
joke.
He wanted someone to bollock or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Every time I saw him after that, which was about 4 or 5 times, he couldn't have been nicer to me. And I think he just slightly overstepped over the mark a little bit. He was looking for anger. But anyway, everyone was giggling their heads off around the corner. And it was the best bollocking I'd ever had.
That's fucking
That's an
yeah.
interesting way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Best bloke to fucking shit talk you. Love the guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a nice guy.
Sign that guy paperwork with a smile.
There you go. So yeah, and I got into drama quite a lot as a young officer. I hadn't picked up on that, but I was given a month's extras by the adjutant once. So you're on duty officer for a month.
Yeah.
Then I had a 21-day stint on top of that as well.
Yeah, what did you do? What did you get?
I had a friend, a lady friend, to stay the night in the Tower of London.
What? You're allowed to do that, aren't you?
No, you're not.
Oh,
No, you're not.
we had fucking officers doing that all the time.
Yeah, mine got caught somehow. Anyway, word got back to the adjutant. I nearly decided to lie it out.
Oh no, you don't want to be doing that because
What would you lie a bit?
So the adjutant said apparently you had a friend, or I've heard stories of you had someone stay the night in the tower last night. And I very nearly said, excuse me, no. But I didn't have the balls to pull that one off. So I said, yeah. He said, take March. So whole of March. Anyway, it was brilliant. March was a brilliant month for me that month because there was lots going on. We had St. Patrick's Day and stuff like that. So I was on duty on St. Patrick's Day, and you have to do a round. As the duty officer, you have to do a night round of the barracks between midnight and 6 a.m. 0600 hours. And I went to see the picket sergeant. There's a guy called Sergeant Young, and
what's that? So when you do the night round or what do you call it?
night round.
Yeah, the night round. What
Of the barracks. You're just making sure that all is in order, the bars are not still open or whatever it is, the cook was mess.
Okay, yeah.
Just make sure, you just, I can't exactly remember, but you'd have to do a certain things on your day round. You have to go and check the MT.
Yeah, is that not BOO?
Yeah. Orderly officer in your speak. We would call it
Battalion officer. Battalion orderly officer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And he said, right, so I'll meet you at the guardroom at 05:59. And I said, right, I'll see you then, Sergeant. And this was the morning of St. Patrick's Day. So we then, I met him there at 6 a.m. just before. And he said, right, follow me. So we went straight to the sergeant's mess.
Right.
Which was still going. The night before St. Patrick's Day. And I had 2 pints of Guinness at 6 a.m. It's absolutely best thing ever.
Not ideal.
Okay, so why didn't you shut it down if you were the orderly officer?
Because they were all the warrant officers. I was not going to do that. I was the second lieutenant.
Oh, right. You was a new officer.
Brave man. You've been a brave man.
You'd have been shut down.
Oh, yeah. Come here, sir. Fuck off.
Yeah. Anyway, so we literally said, and then these same guys who were had been drinking all night. Were now on parade at 10 a.m. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
They were so good at it.
Well, I've told you this many times, and probably podcast. Like, there's many times where we went out on the piss in Windsor, fucking out on it hard 9 o'clock at night, drank all the way through the night, then go to the cash and carry on the way back to barracks to pick more booze up, carry on drinking, then on parade, or literally stop drinking, get into fucking combats, straight onto. We did it in Aldershot as well, to be fair. Yeah, many times when you'd be fucking the whole country like, fuck.
Yeah.
In fact, I've done a few guard mounts like that as well.
That's when you might have a little accident.
I was always all right.
Cool.
Any more closing words of advice?
We Served is going to be game changer. That's all you need to know. Sign up, register, check it out. Game changer for veterans.
That's it.
Game changer.
Look forward to episode 2. We'll have another miscreant, no doubt.
Oh, are you calling me a miscreant?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
I just heard your dates. Don't worry. You qualify for the bottom there.
Okay.
Stamp of approval.
That's a great honour. I'll put it up.
You got the right rank to do that.
Huh?
You got the right rank to do that.
I'm the boss. Do you know what?
Private.
My podcast.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Cool. I look forward to having you on again if you want.
Yeah, come on. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
When we've got multi-cameras.
That's it. Yeah, that's another thing as well. This is a trial as well. So we'll see.
We're literally filming this on an iPhone without any
microphones. This is the first episode where the guest has arrived before the set is finished because we have no microphones.
Yeah.
Which is also quite unusual for me to be early.
Well, yeah.
The officers.
5 minutes before. Not really.
Officers.
Crazy. Yeah, if you feel like we need to change the set a little bit, let us know. If you want to donate some stuff,
Again.
maybe. I don't know, anti-tank cases we've got there. Fucking maybe a SUSAT, a proper SUSAT, not a Gen 1.
Yeah, not a general one. We're getting in trouble for that.
Yeah.
They're restricted items.
Cool. Let us know what we did.
Yeah. See you in the comments.